नमस्ते बिटियो, खुश रहिए बिटियो. Our today's topic is drug proving. Drug proving part first. The drugs have been used since ancient times for curing the diseases, but without any basis. Then, on the basis of doctrine of signature, in which medicines from plants prescribed on the basis of likeness of the external sign and symptoms of the plants and organs or parts of human body. Then, after it, on the basis of Paracelsus method, in which based on the action of drugs. Dr. Hahnemann was the first to add the scientific proof of the truth of homeopathy. He and his students tested the effects of about 90 of drugs upon themselves. This genuineness of process of ascertaining the effects of medicine known as drug proving. Drug proving is the systematic process of acquiring knowledge of instruments intended for the cure of the natural disease. It is mentioned in Organon of Medicine in aphorism 105. In other words, we can say that it is the systematic process of investigation the pathogenetic power of a drug by administering the same in the healthy individuals of the different age group and both sexes, males and females. In 1791, while Dr. Hahnemann was translating Cullen's Materia Medica from English to German, he came across with Cullen's remarks on the curative power of cinchona, cinchona bar in March and decided for testing the positive effects on himself. He was surprised to note that the similarity of the symptoms of ague with the product of cinchona bar. Then he formed a tentative hypothesis in his mind that the specific curative power of the drug lies in its power of producing similar symptoms in a healthy individual, that is, disease producing power of the disease curative power. Disease producing power is the disease curative power. Drugs are the substances which have the capacity of effect the development of disease and or its expression through system. For acquiring the knowledge about drug effects, experiments have been made on the healthy human being through the process of drug proving. In conduction of drug proving, the physician, that is called master prover, must have the knowledge of genuineness of unimpaired strength of drug so that he can rely upon the therapeutic powers of drug. The substances belonging to the animal and vegetable kingdom possess their medicinal qualities most perfectly in their raw state. For drug proving, there are two essential requirements. First of all, the drug to be proved, and second one, the prover. First method of the drug proving is the prerequisite. Before the preparation of before the drug proving. The drug which will be taken for the purpose of proving must be perfectly well known. Their purity and genuineness must be thoroughly assured, and it should possess all the active properties and should be free from all mixture with other drugs. In which Hahnemann says the well-known effects of drug. Drug should be perfectly well known, and the purity and genuineness must be thoroughly assured. A physician must be sure that drugs should be procured in the pure and genuine form, and it should possess all its active properties and should be free from all types of mixture with other drugs. Method of preparation of drugs for drug proving. First, substance belonging to the animal and vegetable kingdom possess their medicine qualities most perfectly in raw state. Second, indigenous plant in the fresh state and freshly expressed juice mixed with the equal part of alcohol. Strength of alcohol has not been well defined by Honeyman. Strength should be sufficient to burn a lunch. The mixture should be allowed to stand for 48 hours for the fibrinous and albuminous matter settle down and the clear fluid is decanted. Plant that contain much thick mucus like symphytum, viola tricolor, and or an excess of albumin like ethusa, a double proportion of alcohol is generally required. Number 4. Plants that are deficient in juice as oleander, needle pal, etc. must be pounded up alone into a moist fine mass and then stirred with double the quantity of alcohol. The exotic plants, the plants from foreign origin, these are called exotic. Exotic vegetable substances must be rendered in the form of powder for preparing tincture with alcohol when they are in the fresh state and afterwards be mixed with a certain proportion of water. Then salt and gums should be dissolved in water just before being taken. If the plant can only be procured in its dry state, and if its power are naturally weak, in the case an infusion of which may be made by cutting the herb into small pieces and pouring boiling purified water on it so as the extract is medicinal part immediately after the preparation. It must be swallowed while warm, as all expressed vegetable juices and all aqueous infusions of herbs of plants without the addition of alcohol may ferment and decompose and thereby lose all medicinal properties. Doses of medicines during the drug proving. In proving medicines to ascertain their effects on the healthy body or on a prover, it must be borne in mind that a strong heroic drug substance are liable, even in small doses, to produce changes in the health even of robust person. Those of less heroic person, those of less heroic power must be given for these experiments in more considerable quantities. The weakest medicine should be preferably given to healthy, delicate, irritable, and sensitive person to prove. Mode of administration. During the drug proving, what are the modes of administration of the drug to a prover? The medicine should be taken on an empty stomach daily for several days. The dose should be of 4 to 6 small globules of 30 potency moistened with a little water. If the drug produces only a slight effect, a few more globules may be taken daily till the effect become more prominent. Start the proving with a small dose of the drug and increase the dose day by day if required. Precautions during proving. As regard the medicine to be proved, even medicinal substances must be pure, without admixture of any foreign substance. A prover must not take anything else of a medicinal nature on the same day, nor on the subsequent day, not during the time. Do we want to observe the effect of the medicine? Do not administer the large doses of medicine, as they may produce a secondary reaction. Don't give medicine for several successive days in over increasing doses, as too frequent repetition can confuse the symptom. About the prover, about the nature and diet of the prover. The prover must be normal, in a healthy state. All functions of the body should be in proper balance, so we can estimate and weight the degree of disturbance caused during the drug proving. The circumstances around the prover should be those of his abnormal surroundings. Quality and types of prover. There are three types of prover: an ideal prover, the best prover, and an idiosyncratic prover. First of all, an ideal prover. He should be healthy, free from all the diseases. He should be intelligent and of delicate and irritable temperament. He should be sensitive in nature and must be trustworthy. The best prover. He is the physician himself with the following qualities. The physician must be healthy, unprejudiced, and sensitive by nature. A physician is the best prover as his recording will be accurate. He is an unprejudiced observer and honest. Any alteration on the state of health experienced by the physician himself become an incontrovertible fact. He is a better judge of the mental, moral, and physical equilibrium. During repeated proving, he can record the alteration very minutely. Through drug proving, the physician gets trained to be a good observer. Drug proving increase the physician's resistance to artificial and natural disease. Number third, an idiosyncratic prover. Idiosyncratic prover is the best prover of the substance to which he is idiosyncratic. It depends upon the literacy of the prover. Provers are divided into two types: literate prover and illiterate prover. The literate prover is a better choice of drug proving as the physician can ask the prover to note down clearly and distinctly all the sensations, suffering, accidents, and his changes in health as he feels at the time of their occurrence. The prover must the prover will have to mention the time after the ingestion of drug, when each of the symptoms arose, and if a symptom lasts longer than a period of its duration, a day book is provided for this purpose. The physician must look over the report, scrutinizing the presence of poor immediately after the experiment is finished. But if the experiment continues for a long period, the physician should inspect the day. and then illiterate prover. If the prover cannot write, it is disadvantage as the physician has to interrogate him daily about his symptoms. For a literate prover, he does not have to do this. The physician should not ask any leading question while the prover narrates his symptoms. In general, the prover must be trustworthy, upright, and intelligent enough to describe his sensation in accurate terms. His body must be in good state of health, mentally and physically. Drugs should be tested on both males and females in order to reveal the alteration of healthy health they produce in the sexual sphere. Drug must be tested on provers of varying ages in order to reveal the alteration of health they produce in different age sphere. The prover must take medicine on an empty stomach. Physicians are the best provers. Diet of the prover. Substances having medicine properties should not be ingested on the same day or on subsequent days or on all days that we wish to observe the effects of the drug. Diet of the prover during drug proving has to be strictly regulated. As far as possible, the diet should be free of all spices. It should be of purely nutritious and simple character. Green vegetables, roots, salads, and herbs should be avoided because even when these are most carefully prepared, some possess some disturbing medicine qualities. Only young green peas, green French beans, and in all cases carrots are allowed as they have the least medicinal properties. The prover must not be in the habit of taking pure wine, brandy, tea, or coffee. Before starting the proving, he must not consume these injurious beverages for the considerable time of some of these are stimulating and the other medicinal. Mentally, during this period of experiment, he must avoid all sort of overexertion of mind and body as well as dissolute living and disturbing passions. He should have no urgent business to distract his attention. He must devote himself to careful self-observation and he must not be disturbed while so engaged. He must avoid all sort of dissipations and disturbing passions. Thank you, Biteo. This is the first session of drug proving and we will discuss tomorrow about the second session of drug proving chapter. Thank you. Thank you very much.